Good evening, people, and apologies, I've not done a video for about 3 days. I've been a bit lazy and I've been quite busy. So don't worry, I'm back in the stride again. So before we get started, I'm going to discuss databanks with you. Do you remember my little robot, Casio robot? Casio AC100. Well, guess what? It's got his brother. One in black, one in blue. They made quite a few of these. One in red, I think, and a few other colours. I like to collect all of them. For a strange, odd reason, it doesn't seem to be any for sale in the UK. Well, saying that, there is a guy who's got some brand new ones in a box that are £500 each, which is stupid. I just thought I will buy a few of these. I quite like these. When the alarm goes off, it stumps his feet like this. Ding, ding, ding. On a motor. Stamps his feet. And turn the alarm on. You put his arm up. Like this. And in here goes the batteries. It is supposed to be a robot. If you didn't realise that. I think they're pretty cool, aren't they? Yeah, you know me. I love a bit of Casio stuff. So we've got the blue, we've got the black. Super. Right, let's put them up there. We've got to make some names for them. Well, I've been wearing this today. Been wearing this quite often. What a bloody amazing watch. Look at it. It's just, oh no, it's just stunning, isn't it? And I've not knocked it or anything. It's quite comfortable to wear as well. Although surprisingly, no one's asked me any questions like, wow, what a beautiful watch you got on your wrist. No one's asked me that. Right, so what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about databanks. Now, Casio do make a lot of databanks. So these are the two I'm going to show you today. But before these two were brought out, Casio brought out this one here. Databank. Oh look, the little one there, look, can you see it? Bloody fallen over. Let me get it out for you, show you. His little brother. I did put a bit of sellotape on it and it's still bloody fell over. Let's stick it like that. Right, so that's that one now. So Casio brought loads and loads of databanks. Looks nice, don't it, that little one there? They also brought this one out here, which is a databank. This is the phone dialer, but it's also a databank. And they also brought this one out, which is a databank. 80s again. They brought this one out, databank. Now, fast forward a few years, they brought out this one here. Many of you may not have seen this model because it is super rare and you don't really see many of them around. And this is called a EDB 600. And I like taking them out of the box like this because you will see the packaging it originally came in. So let's get it out of the box and show you. I don't think I've ever featured this watch on here, but it is a brand new one. And what's different about this one is it's like a brush still effect. It's got this brush still on here, which is quite weird. They don't really do stuff like that, do they? And it's got a really good light, and not a lot of databanks do have lights. I'm trying to think of, do any have lights? I don't think they do. Oh, these ones do up here, the ones I showed you. The difference with this one is here is a bit more modern than the rest. So, for example, let me just show you first what it looks like. And on the wrist, so let me take this one off. I'll put it on my wrist, then you can get a gauge what size it is. I'll leave it here so you can drool over it, because I would be. I'll leave it. Look at this stunning piece. Wow. So this is like a brand new one. If you look on the internet, these are hardly ever around. But it's a really nice watch though. Really comfortable, really good size. And the good thing about this, it's like it molds around your whole wrist as well. So it's not uncomfortable, it's not bulky, it's not big, it's not small. It's just really nice. And a fabulous design. I love the design on this. Right, so let's get into it. So you've got a really good light, which is here. Beautiful. This button here is the display, whatever that means. What does that mean? Probably just moving from time to time on the top there. So you see what it's got here: time, your email, telephone, calculator, world time, alarm, timer, and stopwatch. Well, to access these functions here is not any other buttons. You really got to press these buttons here. So it will start from 1. So 1 would be the time, 2 would be the emails, calculator, oh not calculator, databank, telephone, calculator, and on the bottom again would be a stopwatch, timer. So if we pressed here, alarm, up will come your alarm function. And look at the size of that display. Bloody enormous. You put it on your wrist, look at the size of the display. It's huge, isn't it? And it's very rare because Casio don't make stuff like this, do they? Normal Casio alarm. So if you wanted to go home, I think you just press 1. Oh no, you don't. You press back to there. So world time, which is again huge. And you just press the arrows. Honolulu. You don't really see that very often in the what do you call them? World times, do you? It's a little bit more advanced. You rarely see India as well. You don't really see that on a databank. Sounds like it's all India. And we've got London. Yeah. So if you wanted to go back to there, you've got your time, we've got world time, alarm, timer. Look at this display. Stop, let's go calculator. And obviously there's the calculator functions here. And also we have the data bank, the all important thing, what Casio's all about. And I think also, I mean, this has got, you can store 350 in here, which is probably one of the highest. I don't think it's the highest. I think there's another one that says 300, which is low, obviously. I think there's one that says 1500, which is a little bit different. I don't really have that anymore. What are we going to do? Oh yeah. Here's your telephone contacts. There's nothing in it at the moment. And here is your emails. Oh my God, excuse me. You've got to put a password in there because it's protected. And yeah, it's a really lovely design though, isn't it? It's very, I don't think there's any Casios, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any Casios that's got a brush still effect on any of their watches. I think it's just this one, which is super rare. And they didn't make very many of these either. It was a very short run. I don't know if they weren't very popular or what. But I can tell you, in the last few years, I probably had 5 of these that have been in their boxes and in mint condition. So I don't know if that tells you anything. But it's a great strap as well. Not your normal Casio. I mean, look, it's quite chromy as well. It's got Casio Indonesia. Yeah, pretty nice. I'll show you the next one. I'll leave it on here. just in case. Look at this beautiful piece. Look at this. Look at this. Wow. Just stunning. It's becoming one of my favourite Casios, this. I never thought it would be. Too many favourites. I was going to do a video today. Well, I was debating what video to do. I was going to do a video on my favourite 3 watches, but I couldn't come up with 3. And then I thought I'd do 10. I just couldn't come up with 10 either. And then I thought I'd do 20. And I really struggled. There was just too many beautiful ones. Now this is another Casio. It's not even that old, this one. Let's take it off, come on. Leave it out. So let's have a little look. Again, huge display. Let's put it against the other one so you see what in relation to size. It's almost the same, isn't it? This one's more roundy, that's more squarish. I do prefer this one though. I like the display as well. It's pretty cool. Do you know, 10 years before this one was, well, 10 years or maybe, yeah, maybe 10 years before this one was even invented, they made the touchscreen, and I think it would have been really cool if this was touchscreen. So you press the screen here, as well as the buttons. But, you know, that's just me. Yeah, there's not much to say about this one, except it's databank again. It's multilingual, which means you could, so it doesn't matter which country you're in, the display will change. So if you're in India, Spain, it will change to the display in your country. And the difference with this one to that one is the buttons are really easy to press, and there's something I just noticed straight away on it. And I think the light is a magnificent light. Let's have a little look. Which is here. Beautiful. I like the orange light. What I don't like is the blue lights. I don't know why. There's a data bank. You put your stuff in here. There's the calculator mode. I don't want to repress this button because it's quite new. I don't want to start making marks on it. Alarm. Stopwatch. Daytime saving. But has it got world time? I don't think it has. No, it hasn't got world time. It's just got on this one here. I think it says at the back what it's got as well. So this is DBC32. Displays 13 languages. So this is what's weird is, even though there's a lot modern to this watch, it only stores 25 phone numbers. Oh, by the way, if you don't know what the data bank is when you store your names and numbers of contacts. So before, everyone is spoiled now with the mobile phones. It's all built in. Before the mobile phones came to market, the only way to store your names and numbers was in a phone book by simply writing it down, or in your phone. And that's why the Casio made so many data banks, because that was the only method, unless you had a personal organizer, which is like a little tiny little computer laptop thing, and it opens up and it's a bit over the top. But you know, you had all sorts on there. Do you know what? I might buy one and just do a video on one of them. I should buy them because they're very, very cheap now. Yeah, so that's that one there. I don't think there's much to say on it really. It's quite a basic watch. There's nothing really fantastic, and it's no way in the same league as something like this. I mean, I would class this as if I had to compare it, I would say this would be like an Apple Mac computer, and this would be like your cheap end PC, because it doesn't do much. It just does just the very, very basics. But let's stick it on the wrist. It does look like a lovely watch. You don't, I mean, these are not even that old, but you don't really see them. Is this coming off or what? Yeah. It's nice, it's okay. It's not my taste. This one's a bit more me if I had to wear one, because I just think it looks nicer. It is a pretty nice watch, isn't it? You can't deny that. Very, very nice. But if you were to wear something like this, like the gold one, which is also a databank, just going to show you in comparison to size. It's pretty cute, isn't it? Cute. Did I use the word cute? Bloody Nora. That's what happens when you've got a daughter and a missus in the house all the time talking about cute stuff. Jesus Christ. I'm going to try and edit that out of my video. Yeah. And did anyone see the little video I done before this? It's only like 1 minute and 9 seconds long. That radio watch I had. I bought, if you can see it at the back there, look. Can you see it? It's all loads of washing over there. You see that little clock there? I bought that from a boot sale thing. And I bought it because it's got a radio tuner on it. Manual one with a little knob on the side. And I needed one of them to tune the TM100, which is the radio watch. You know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. It's the video. I'm going to upload this one now. But it's the video before this. It's only like 1 minute and 9 seconds. It's probably the first time I've tuned it to a radio, and what happens is it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a novelty thing. It's nothing. I mean, I couldn't see why anyone would want to use it, but it's still a bloody amazing watch. I don't know if I like it because it's rare, and it's probably one of the most valuable Casio watches you can buy nowadays. And the one most sought after. And I don't think there's a day that goes by when I'm not offered good money for that watch. So it is a watch that a lot of collectors, even new collectors, they hear about it and they just have to have it in their collection. And to be honest with you, there's one just sold now on eBay for a couple of £1,000 or thereabouts, but the guy's unsure whether it works or not. But to be honest with you, it's very rare that I come across a Casio that doesn't work. They're very, very reliable. They're very strong modules in them. It doesn't matter how old they are very good. As long as you don't get battery leakage or anything. The ones that don't last long are so if you had to compare 3 watches, let's say in the 80s, it was Seiko were quite big, digital stuff, and also Timex were competing with Casio often. So Timex, Seiko, and what was the other one? Timex, Seiko, and Casio. Casio wins hands down. I've had quite a few Seikos that are digital, and the electronics on them are absolute shite. They don't last very long. The electronics break down very quickly and very hard to work on. You can't take them apart. I've had a few beautiful Seikos. I just couldn't keep them because they would just keep breaking. The electronics would fail on them all the time. Timex are okay. Just the components they used were very, very cheap. Everything about them was cheap, even the bits inside. Like, for example, leave this here a minute. I'm going to go and get a Timex and I'm going to just show you something. Have I got a Seiko that's electronic? Probably not. Yeah, hold on a minute. It's here. There is no editing on these videos. It's just point, shoot, and that's it. So look, I'm going to show this video here. I'm just rabbling on. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. So you see this watch here? The phone dialer. Now this came out in, when did this come out? 80 something. This came out in the 80s as well. Now this is a Timex calculator watch. Now I bet you any money I can take this watch and take every single component out and put every single component down here and put it all back and it will work. Guarantee you it. If I took this and stripped all the components out, if you could, by the way, because a lot of sealed bits, the things would just spring everywhere. The screws won't be very good. It will be absolute shit. I can guarantee you it. When one of these don't work, you can either throw it away or just keep it. But it is not worth repairing because they're just always problems. Casios, not one single issue. I do have Casios that I just can't get working. But in relation to how many I've bought, which is literally thousands, I've only got a handful that I just can't get working again. Just a handful. In fact, they're on my shelf. I've probably got 10, 12 on there, if that. But yeah, Casio are much, much better than any other digital watch out there. This is a beautiful watch, by the way. It's a phone dialer. I've done a video on this. If you had that next to your handset, that code will go through to the handset and it will dial the number. Yeah, that beep. Can you hear that properly? Beautiful. Yeah. This is a rare Timex. You don't see very many of these. I bought this very cheap. I won it in an auction with some other bits and pieces. Where's the start? There's no buttons on the side. This is a Timex, but everything about it just feels cheap. Very cheap. Let me show you this watch here, look. I know I'm rabbiting on, but I'm trying to just show you something. Hold on. If I can find it, there it is. I found it. So this is the calculator watch from the 1985. This came out roughly the same time, competing with each other. By the way, I've got to be very careful with this watch because this is the original strap. Look how beautiful that strap is. But it's the original strap, but it's starting to crack somewhere. Oh, it's here. Look at this. Oh, it's getting worse. See it there? Oh my God. Don't worry, it's okay. We're going to just stabilise it like this. Now this is a brand new watch, never used. Still got, look, I'll show you. Still it's got its box, all the instructions are with it as well. Now, these are bought out at the same time. But I'll tell you this, the difference in quality is unbelievable. This does feel really cheap. Like do you know when it's difficult to explain without offending people, but it's like I can only describe it as you're buying food and the cheaper quality food is edible, but it's not as nice. But when you have a nice juicy burger, for example, as opposed to a cheap McDonald's burger, yeah, let's say it that way. So you buy this is the McDonald's burger, this is a restaurant burger. They both do the same, they're both edible, but the difference is just massive difference. If this broke tomorrow, I couldn't take it apart. It just wouldn't happen. and we'll just have to leave it. It just couldn't be fixed there. It'd just be rubbish components in it. I have taken these, not this bit, this watch. I have taken these apart before, and Jesus, I just lose the will to live. I'm not sure the alarm is supposed to work. The light, where's the light? A little light. Even the light is pathetic. But the difference with this is massively. I mean, look at these buttons, for example. Look, I'm slagging off watches. I don't like to do that. But I'm just showing you a comparison. Even the buttons compared to my finger, look how small they are. And they're not even sticking up that much. So how are you ever supposed to press them in unless you use a pin? But on this, on the other hand, look how much they're sticking up. When I press one of these buttons, I could press it quite simply. The spaces are okay. I mean, don't forget it's a calculator watch still. So you've got the same amount of buttons, just they're not sticking up far enough. It's like this is very rushed. I like what I've done to the display here though. It's more, I prefer the display on this one. I like what I've done there. There's more on the display, isn't there? Yeah, that's it. There's me slagging off someone. I don't like doing that. They're both nice watches. Beautiful watches. Got to be very careful with this one. Yeah, I do find Casio is a much more superior brand. Much more. I don't think it's any comparison. Especially to Seiko. I mean, Seiko's probably the worst, I think. I don't think I've ever got a Seiko that's digital that has never had some sort of ongoing issue that is so frustrating. I bought a beautiful 007 it was, Seiko watch. I'll dig it out. And honestly, it was in mint condition, but the bloody thing would just turn off with no warning and then turn back on, then turn off and turn back on. Oh, just could not find the bottom of it. I couldn't find any reason why it was doing that. I couldn't take it apart, fix it. It was very, very complicated. I just didn't even want to chance it. But when you get one of these, and I could probably take any, you can as well. You don't need any experience. You could take any Casio apart. This one would be a little bit more complicated because you've got all the sensors in here. But you can still take them apart, clean them all up, put them all back, all in pieces, and it will work. Anyway, I've rabbited on. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. And think of some names for my little robots. We should call this one Justin. Right, thanks for watching.